welcome to my first in a new series of how-tos. So I put out a blog last week. I'll pop a little link to my blog below. And one of the first requests I got was for crystal placement. So I filmed this video. I'm trying something a little new. I've got two cameras on me, filming from two different angles for you. So with my crystal placements, I start, as you can see, I tend to start on my biggest crystal, like in the middle of the nail. So here I'm using a flame shape. I'm then going to come in with some raindrops. These are all in Crystal AB finish. And as you can see, I tend to work with my glue a crystal at a time because I want to slowly build up the design and make sure it flows nicely. I normally start my design in the centre, but off centre. So as you can see, this is down the middle of the nail, slowly sweeping across. And then I grow from that. So it looked a bit straight there, which is why I'm then going to add a fourth raindrop there, just to add a little more body and flow. I like to use the smaller round crystals. So at the point of your raindrops, and at joining points with bulkier shapes, because what that does, that helps protect. And I think if you create a flowing shape with various different shapes and sizes of crystals, you can use the smaller crystals to just tuck in and hide bits that would otherwise be like snaggy points. So you think, okay, hair's likely to get caught under there. The point of the flame, you're likely to get things trapped and snagged under there, hair, fluffy jumpers, stuff like that. So straight away come in with a round crystal there. And then I want to taper that off. So you always want to think about a nice flowing, smooth, moving, you know what I mean, like a flowing design. But you also want to think about, okay, where would things snag? Where will things get caught? I want to be able to hide them, but still have a design that looks attractive on the nail. So I followed it around just one side of that flame. I think if I followed it around the other side, you then kind of lose the effect of some of the different shapes. So I'm making sure that I just put the crystals up the top now. As you can see, I've got a mix pot there. So I do move them about and make sure I've got the right size to go in before popping my glue on. And again, just using a couple of dots of glue for, you know, for a couple of crystals at a time. Don't like slather on loads of glue and then try and get the crystals on, because the glue will dry quite quick. So I'm quite happy with how it looks at the top. It looks like a nice smooth like piece. I think down the bottom, I'm like, it just kind of stops in a bit of a chunk. So I thought, right, how would I feel about another crystal? And that I do sometimes, like I'll hold the crystals up. Yep, okay, I like how it looks. And then I'll add the glue. I often do that with the bigger ones too. Like I'll hold up the bigger crystal and then I'll go, yep, okay, yeah, I like that. And so with this, I wanted to slightly change the flow of the crystals. So I didn't have it coming straight out. As you can see, I've then kind of curved it around the nail there. And I'm then going to come in with my round crystals again, just to, again, make sure it's a nice smooth flow, no jaggedy pointy bits that could easily get caught and snag. And then I've just added a little tail there. Then, as always, I'm coming in with my detailer brush. So this is a really important part for me, making sure your crystals last. So you will get clients that are heavy-handed. It cannot be helped, and they will be knocking off crystals left, right and centre. I've got one lady who cannot even have a little crystal by her cuticle area because God knows what she does, smashes them with sledgehammers. She loses her nail, literally not her nails, she loses her crystals every time. You know, I pretty much always have crystals on my designs. I've got a horse, I'm doing other people's nails. My last set, I lost a couple from like getting fingers trapped in doors, very clever me, and things like that. Stuff like that, you know, you can't help lose the odd crystal here and there, but I am very rough with my hands. you know, I don't wear gloves when I'm with my horse or cleaning the house. Bad, slap me on the wrist there. But I never lose crystals. The only time I really lose crystals is when I've been doing a lot of takeoffs, and a lot of acetone has been like a flopping all over my hands while I've been doing soak offs, and that will affect the glue rather than the top coat. So I always make sure when I'm coming in with my detail, you can see I'm really trying to get underneath the crystals, and I'm trying to really get in all those little nooks and crannies, so it then becomes a nice smooth design. So if you've got that top coat there, it means that there's nowhere for things to get snagged, to get caught, to be pulling or anything like that. So always make sure you really take your time to apply your top coat. I go all the way around, and then I do go in between crystals. So get in between. You don't want the top coat to go on your crystals because that will dull their sparkle, but just in all the little nooks and crannies so it's nice and secure. And to be honest, I actually have problems getting off the crystals at the end. Like, ladies will come back 3 weeks later and I try and clip them off with old cuticle nippers, and I can't. I have to file them off. So there you go, guys. I hope you found this how-to useful, and if you have any requests for any future ones, please just pop them all below. So thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you all again soon. Bye!